Evening. So I forgot to plug my phone in. Hello, hello. Bear with me while just plugging my phone for pub, just in case somebody rings. You never know. You never know. Has it got any power? Hey. Evening. Right, can anybody hear me? Is this working properly? Can you see me? Hello, hello. Welcome to Ask the Plasterer with me, Eric Plasterer. Been plasterer for 38 years in South London. If everything you want to know about plastering, this is the place to come. But generally, this is the Old Hook and Trail community boozer, where me, the boys and the girls just come for a chat once a fortnight and talk about anything you like. Anything you like. Sorry. Put in the camera up. Anything you like. There's a phone connected, so you can ring me if you want to get your dulcet tones on the line. I'll be with you in a second. Hopefully you want to get here. Martin, evening mate, nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you. You starting to get your bag packed yet for Edinburgh? Or is it a bit too soon? Oh, evening Mark, my old matey. Loud and clear, jolly good. That's what I like to hear, bruv. That's what I like to hear. If you've got any good questions you guys can ask me tonight about anything, boys, then, you know, feel free. Feel free. You know what hard work this is for me at my end. Having to keep you entertained with jolly chat and all stuff and things like that. Have you got your feet up? Have you got your drinks? Hey, evening Jay, nice to see you mate. Nice to see ya. You got your beer ready? Or your tea? Or your coffee? Or your glass of milk? I keep trying to take, because I don't know if Joel's that keen on that picture. And I've been deleting pictures off of this little slideshow I've got up here. And thinking that one's gone, but it's not, it's still there. I don't know. Yeah. Been a bit short-staffed in the pub tonight. I've had to get my own glass, dry it myself, wash it myself, dry it myself. Because old Pedro back there, he don't like getting involved with beer glasses. He's just always making cocktails. Bless him. Got me glass. Got me classic IPA, Brewdog, Punk IPA. Lovely drop of beer. If you're into a little bit of the old real ale, it's not too. I only like pale ale though, which is what this is. I don't like the old bitter. It's too bitter, funnily enough. Hold on. SMR or whatever they called it. It's the old. Can you hear the fizz? Can you hear the fizz of my beer? Let's pour it out near my microphone. I will if you shut up now. Oh dear, look, you can't. You can tell I don't work in the boozer, can't you? Hey, evening Mike. Evening Johnny. ASMR, that's it. I know it's something like that, Joe. Yeah. As Mr. Like Mrs. A. Oh, the old MRSA. Oh, I'm going to have to sort out a picture of Mike, you and Martin, and the cat. That's all right. Not that I want to be a centre of attention. Evening. I love the way you call me young Eric there, Johnny. Cheers, mate. Work situation. It's been ticking in still for me a very nice rate, as in just enough to cover me bills and keep the bank account in the black. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know a lot of the guys and Jay and listening to Joel on the live stream keep getting rained off from the old rendering jobs. That's. Oh. I mean, when you do it a lot, you know, it's just one of those things in our weather, especially the further up north you are, there's not a lot you can do about it other than not do it, which I don't, but I'm all indoors and skimming. But Joel used to do a lot more skimming and internal stuff, but his passion now is in the outdoor rendering, so of course she ain't got no choice. So weather-wise, you just got to keep opening it hurries up and dries up and stop bleeding, getting too cold, mostly too wet. I know Joel can take the cold because he's up north. They're harder up there, not softly southerners like we are down here. So I do try my best. You know, I joined the old cold swimming club pool and all that malarkey. But yeah. But I still put the heating on because it's a bit too nippy for me. Bit too nippy. So how's things, boys and girls? Just relax. Make sure you got your drink. Put your feet up. Don't know if you've got the old log burner on, Mark. So your princess is coming back in sometime in the summer, mate, isn't she? For a visit. Must have seemed like ages, mate. When your kids are away, the further they are. I mean, my youngest daughter, she ain't going yet, in a few weeks' time. She's going to Vietnam for her honeymoon. And I'm thinking, oh, couldn't you go somewhere a bit closer, like Spain? But hey, Richard, evening, mate. Nice to see you. Welcome to the community boozer, the old Alton Trail. Just come here, just to relax. It's not as informative as Kirk's lives, or Joel's. Come to that, or Stu's. But it's just somewhere to come and have a little chat about. Nothing in particular. That's why I only do it once a fortnight, because I've got to do because I've got to do all the talking. Yeah, I couldn't do it every week like Joel does. June. Oh, nice for March. Coming back in June. How soon be June, mate? May. March, April, May, June. Oh, blimey, we'll get back from Edinburgh, and the next thing you know, she'll be coming home for a visit, so that'd be lovely, mate. That'd be lovely. But I'm looking forward to taking your mind off it, mate, and just having a good old time up in Scotty land. The sun's going to come out again, and I'm getting more and more excited the closer it gets. I tried to get go back on the old train lines to see if I can get a cheap train ticket rather than fly up. And I was going to do that today, but I was working, so I thought I'll do it when I get in. And I thought, oh no, you got to ask the plasterer tonight, so yeah, I'll do it. I'll say I'll do it tonight, but I'll probably end up doing it tomorrow. Oh dear. Richard. Oh, pardon me. Landed by accident, but no complaints at all. Oh, that's good. Pleased to hear it, mate. Pleased to hear it. Mark, I think she's home the week after Edinburgh. Oh, no. Well, all the better, mate. Blimey, couldn't get any better, could it? With all your pals, with all your spreaders, up in Bonnie, Scotland, and then home to see your princess, mate. Lovely. Not a week later, that'll fly by, mate, or go really slow. If you keep busy like you normally do, it'll be in no time at all. Benson, evening, mate. Nice to see you. You got a beer, Benson? Or a cup of tea? Got your feet up, mate? With a packet of crisps or some cheddar biscuits? You can bring your own beer into this boozer. I don't mind at all. You can bring your own food in. We've got none of these silly rules like, it's only food that you buy here. You can just bring what you like. Put your feet up and talk about whatever you want to. because it's only so much stuff plastering related you can talk about. But got any questions or anything general on the old plastering front? Let me know. Let me know. Oh, hang on. My I don't know if I mentioned it last time I was on here. My oldest sister. I know I only look about 30, but my oldest sister's 80 next week. She lives in Spain, so and she really wanted us to go down and see her for the actual birthday bash, which is on Friday coming. No, Friday. Oh yeah, it's Friday coming. So I'm jumping on the plane to Spain on Wednesday, but I'll be back Monday. But not that I need to rush for that because there's no after that Monday. But yeah, so I'll put a few pics up on the old Discord of me having a fun time in the warm. Well, hopefully it's a bit warmer there than it is here. And yeah, I think might be a bit of karaoke going on, so I'm getting warmed up for Edinburgh. It should be fun. Hey, and Mark, come on, mate. You can't pretend this year that the karaoke place is shut or is really expensive just because you don't want to go. Benson, coffee and cooking tea, but still off the alcohol. Hope you're good and busy. Yeah, I've got work's coming in nicely, mate. I'm pleased to say. No, I did pop round the ladies tonight. Lovely lady. One of those jobs. I don't know if you've ever been to look at them, where there's quite a big old house as well. I think her son lives there and maybe some lodgers or whatever. But yeah, she seems to have started decorating every single room in the house all at the same time, like a building site. But she lives there in it, as do the other people that live there. And she's had a spreading already that's done a lot of ceilings and stuff, and they do look beautiful. He's done a lovely job, but he's done some coving, and she's not that happy with it because up on the top of her hallway, the end of the whole ceiling curves. So of course he's just run the coving along and put two stop ends on, because obviously you can't take it round the old bend unless you can do really fancy fibrous in situ. But she obviously can't, neither can I. So I said, the other bits of plastering she needs doing I can do, but I'm not going to touch the cornice covey stuff. Not when she wants it round a cove wall, because it does look a bit odd with two stops on the end. Because when you look at the ceiling, it looks flat, but it's not. It's got this small curve, but enough of a curve that you can't run a normal cornice around it, or normal, not gyprock stuff anyway. Julian, hello mate. What's that, Mark? I'll be singing into the machine at McDonald's. Mate, if singing in the machine at McDonald's makes it just give me what my favourites, my old large Big Mac meal and probably filet of fish and probably an apple pie as well, just to soak up some of the cider or the beer, and I would sing into it, mate. It would be easier for me to sing into the McDonald's machine than it would for me to work out what flipping buttons to press, but it doesn't matter because Mike Smiler will be there to hold my hand so I can get something to eat. Julian, evening mate, sorry to lower the tone. Oh no, you're not going to lower the tone, are you? To lower the tone from the get-go, but anyone knock up wearing a mask? For years I didn't, but obviously youth is wasted on the young. That's true, mate. And now looking down the barrel of 50, still a whippersnapper, Julian. Become a lot more health conscious and do worry about the environment we work in day in, day out. Alright, Mike. Yeah, no, Julian, I did buy a half decent mask recently. It was about 30 quid. As opposed to the paper ones. It's not one of those massive ones with the great big canisters on the side, but it is. It's not a canister, but it's got a little thing on the front. What's it got one on the front maybe? But it's quite small, and I've got to admit, my last few jobs I've been doing, I'm whacking it on before I mix up. Because you know how much dust goes in the air, and you don't really notice it unless it's a sunny day. I mean, you know it's dusty, but if the sun's like coming through the window and you tip out a bag, then you can just see the room goes cloudy, mate. And as you say, a lot of that, although it's not directly toxic, so I've breathed enough of it in over the years. You know, it's not good to be taking it in all the time. So yes, mate, it's not only you. And I've only just started using a mask again. And I'm 61, mate, and I'm still okay currently at the minute. Every time I go swimming, I do quite a bit underwater stuff, and I do park run as well, which is like 5k on most Saturdays. And I'm not boasting that I'm, you know, I can drag myself out of bed or get up the gym or go swimming or whatever. But yeah, if I can't do a length underwater or I can't do the park run and do 2 laps without stopping, then I'll know there's something wrong. But currently, apart from being knackered and a bit breathless at the end, I can still do both. But that's one side. Yeah, I've only started using the mask again in the last month or two, really, to be honest with you. And I say using it 9 times out of 10, I'm using it because I'm putting it in a place where I can get hold of it and it doesn't get absolutely caked in other plaster from where. Oh, pardon me. But yes, mate, you've got to look after the old lungs. I mean, when you're younger, you don't tend to worry about it too much or think about it, and you only need a few issues. I mean, I know a few people that have got a few lung issues, and they're a fair bit younger than me, that are spreads, and you know, but also that have really done their shoulders up like kippers now and can't hardly get their arm up above kind of like this eye. So yeah, you just got to be careful. And when you're doing ceilings, boys, don't forget always with like straightforward skimming, make sure you've got that kind of height between your head and the lid. If you're stretching up here, or you're doing that because it's too low, then yeah, over years it ain't gonna help. It ain't gonna help. Mike, think we should try KFC this year. I like KFC, mate. I'd never eat it at home. We used to eat it years ago when my kids were a bit younger and still lived at home. I'd sort of go, let's go have KFC, bit of nice proper Kentucky Fried Chicken. None of this all the other sort of sound-alike ones. I mean, they're okay, but then saying that, last time I had a KFC, it wasn't as nice as I remembered it. And if we've had a few beers and it's quite late and I'm quite hungry, if there's a KFC next to a McDonald's, I'll probably, although McDonald's is a load of old rubbish, isn't it? I'll probably just go for the McDonald's. But we're there for a little while, aren't we? So perhaps McDonald's one night. If that's not the night we're having a curry or the all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, which Mark knows where that is because I'd never find it again. I've struggled to find the booking office, and that's right outside the train station, isn't it? And the old that's the pub. For anyone that don't know, that's right outside the Waverley station, which is right bang in the middle of Edinburgh and where we want to be. For anyone else that is coming, don't think you can get, if you come in on a plane, you can get a tram or a bus. It's about a £5, and it's just one bus, brings you straight into Edinburgh from the airport. Similar with the tram, but I think the tram's cheaper. So getting to and from Edinburgh from the airport and stuff is a piece of cake. And if you come on the train, literally, you come out the train station and you're in the middle of Edinburgh. So it's a fantastic place. I love it. I can't wait till the 20th of May. For anyone that doesn't know, 20th of May. If you want to come along for the old Spreads meet up or Plasterers annual convention, as we're going to start calling it, then get yourself along, book yourself something, and meet us there. Most of us are going to be there for the best part of a week, from the Monday to Friday, Saturday. Some guys are there for the weekend as well. Benson's bit of free grub to chew on. Yeah. Richard, had a great day here. I worked with your dad, 71. Your dad's 71, mate. You don't mean you're 71, Rich, do you? Great. The clock hits 1 p.m. and he's moaning. We're into overtime. I'm lucky the job I did today for a mate of mine, a plumber mate, was the ceiling and a couple of walls. But I managed to whack them all on in one go, so I was out there by 12:30, I think, today. which isn't normally like me. I normally, okay, take me time. And by the time I've done something like that and then tidied up and packed the motor, it still ends up pushing 4 or 5 o'clock. Oh dear. But you just don't push yourself if you're not in the mood to, though. Because that's how you hurt yourself. That's how you get, that's how you hurt your elbows and your shoulders and all that malarkey. Mark, you need a good young fella to knock up for you. Yeah, if I haven't had a labourer mate since, oh bloody hell, since, what, no, 2000 probably. It might have even been longer. Oh dear. Yeah. Now when I bought a whisk, because I was only doing like domestics by that time, I'd given up. Apart from a few builders that I know, I'd still do the odd bit for now and again. But I used to do a lot work for builders on a more regular basis, and just did the odd private job now and again. But now in the last few years after that, I had a labourer. Then I got myself a nice mega mixer, and then I realised that for what I was doing, I didn't need a labourer. Plus, he'd knock me up a bunch of gear with my mixer, and then if it was a Monday after the weekend, and he had turned up for work instead of making some excuse that his tortoise had died, then he'd literally go kick on the floor, and I'd have to give him a kick. Go, you can't do it. The customer walks in here and you're lying there flipping snoring. So yeah, I didn't get rid of him instantly. It was a gradual thing, but when he went, and then that was donkeys years ago. So, but the benefits of having a labourer for knocking up, for bringing your gear in, or maybe going in, putting your beads and stuff on for you while you're, I don't know, doing something else. Then yeah. But yeah, I don't think I'll bother now, especially now I'm getting older as well. I'll never bother with that. Mark, the tram's slower, Mark, is it? There's a couple of, I think, because I went there for the Fringe, didn't I, last year? And that was, I think my daughter, when she came with her fiance then, they said, we jumped on the tram, because I was waiting near the bus station. I think they'll get off of the bus in a minute, and they got the beaten tram. But yeah, I knew I think it's cheaper, but like I say, if it's a bit slower, I'd rather just jump on the bus, and because it properly stops in Edinburgh, doesn't it? So you haven't got to worry about where to get off or anything like that. Mark Neeson, the 80s. Well, maybe the 80s, mate. Yeah. What year did I start? 83, 84, something like that. Oh. I don't like thinking about it. It makes me feel dizzy when I realise how long I've been spreading. Oh dear, but I am. I'm absolutely looking forward to this. Yes, yeah. Every time I click that picture up of that little plasterer's bunker, I'll get excited. Oh. Do. What else is happening? Yeah, like I said, I'm going to Spain on Wednesday, but I'll be back Monday. So, but I'll send some pics and I'll let you know all about how it went. What else? I'm trying to think if anything. Oh, that's what I was saying about this lady's house that she's kind of like started decorating everywhere at once, and there's a lot of stuff about, and she swore blind she wasn't a hoarder, and it was just that some people do that. They, rather than just start on one room and get that done and shut the door and move on to the next one, they'll gut the whole house, well, more or less. And you kind of think, well, if you've got another house you're living in, it don't really matter. But if you actually have to live in it as well, it can get you down after a while. And if everything's kind of dragging behind a bit, but yeah, I remember we were getting on fine, and then she started. I don't know. It came up something to do with. I don't think she mentioned old Khan, the mayor here in London, but she did say she was concerned that that we might have Sharia law here soon, and everything was going to pot. And I thought, I said, well, nothing will be going down a few rabbit holes on that one. I said, you might want to worry about more about China and Trump and Boris and Brexit, but I wouldn't worry about there being some kind of Sharia law taking over the UK because the MPs are too frightened or something like that. But hey, I didn't ask her, but she probably ain't been vaccinated either. I know some of you guys might not have been either, but I had all my jabs and it hasn't affected me at all. So I am still here, and I've always had a dodgy memory, even before I got the vaccine. Martin, have you ever had... Sorry Martin, I didn't see this earlier, I was just checking because I get told off by my daughter or my missus when I miss out a question someone's asked. I was too busy waffling. Have you ever had skin slide about on a wall in small patches? Not for a long time, mate, but I used to. I found that was that's another 12 pence down the pan. I don't care though, mate. I don't care. I just want to make people happy, and I'll just give up my fortune. It's not about fortune and fame. No. So, yeah, that 12 pence will probably go to someone else's good cause. Whoever owns the copyright to the Beer song. Music to the ear. and a classic for the old Alton Trail community boozer. That one with the expletives in a bit later on. I say I don't get any copyright claims on those ones. Just the beer song. So, if you people out there that own the copyright to the beer song, enjoy. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I was talking about patches sliding on the wall. Yeah, it's when I used to water down PVA, which was a long time ago, before I started using it neat all the time. Basically, if I'd gone on the wall and there was a lot of damp, a lot of moisture in the room because I'd maybe done all the sealing and that previous, and then the next day there's a lot of condensation in the room, the wall's a bit damp, and the PVA's not gone off properly, and I got some sliding then, but that was years ago, mate. And ever since then, I'll put my neat PVA on, and even if it's tacky, I won't touch it really. It's got for me. Put my hand on it, and it don't feel sticky at all, and then I crack on, and in that case, I don't get sliding. But I've only ever got sliding, as I say, when the PVA, the walls had just too much condensation running down it, and the PVA's not going, or it's a bit tacky. So I think, I'll go over it because they're meant to do it when it's tacky, because that's what it says on the tin. And then you're flying away, think, this is good, and then you kind of like go like that with a bit of a trowel, and or you step back for a minute, and then suddenly you see this little line appear, little white line normally. You can see the PVA underneath, and you see that little white line opening up like a smiling face, right? And sagging underneath, and you just got to kind of like push it a bit and then leave it alone, because you try and fix it too soon, and you just make it all worse, and then the whole lot can start sliding. But yes, Martin, I've had that in the past, but thankfully not for a long time. It's nothing I hated more. Especially if you're thinking, I can bash this wall out and finish and get home or whatever, and you slap it on, and it's all going really fine, and then suddenly you got some movement in it, or splitting it or something like that, and you see it starting to sag, and you think, oh god, I can't touch that now till it's picked up. You could go out and have some lunch. and come back again before you could touch it, to be honest. Hey James, nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Evening, evening. Have you got a drink, mate, or tea, or coffee, or beer, or whatever? Put your feet up. Something to eat. A packet of crisps, chocolate biscuits. Just for a little chat in the pub. Are you leaving a little gap for Edinburgh, mate? I know I ask you every time we're on here, but you got to keep on top of the guys. I've pestered Joel so much now, and he's definitely coming, and he said he's definitely coming so mad now, so often now. He's mad, as Joel would say, mad. So he can't not come unless something really major occurs. But so I'm looking forward to it. Oh. Evening lads, what have I missed? You ain't missed much, Jamie. I mean, flipping it, it's the old Auckland Trail, ask the plasterer, the community boozer. So only the usual me waffling as best as I can, mate, under circumstances, and hoping that a lot of people will ask me something or talk about something, so I haven't got to do too much off the cuff. One is all off the cuff anyway, and it's not like I've got some flipping script that I can speak. Which would sound awful. You imagine trying to do one of these things with some kind of script. God dear, it'd be terrible. But yeah, all good here, mate. All good. You finished in Arran now. Did you go on the mainland, mate, and you go over to Arran for the job? It's not the other way round, is it? You don't live in Arran and then come over to the mainland to work. I should know that after these few years, mate, shouldn't I now? But yeah, Jamie, I am 12 pence down again, mate, or I probably will be. I won't know until this goes out, and then it quickly tells me on YouTube that I've got the old copyright for the Beer song again. But it's not a copyright strike, so I don't get my channel shut down or anything silly like. I've thought to myself lately, are you going to make any more videos there about plastering? And deep down, probably not, because I've done most of the ones I've wanted to do. Most of the other guys and Kirk have got loads of so much stuff covered that I kind of think, you know what, I can't bear what. For the subscribers I would get from it, because you do get a lot more subscribers when you start putting your videos back out. I thought it'd be worth. I can't be bothered. Doing the job is hard enough without taking them. I mean, unless there's some mega change or I do something extremely different on the plastering front, I'll film it. But other than that, mate, there's only so many tips and tricks and sorts of things you can do: floating, setting, boarding, trail video. Yeah, right. But I'll be just making me I'll just be making me job a bit harder, Mark, won't I? Because I can't be. I think, oh yes, I need to do that, but then I'll be putting on an extra coat that I would normally put on, so that'll take a bit longer, and stuff and things like that, mate. So, I mean, that brand new sponge, because I don't use sponge float, do I? And who was it? This called. I'm so rubbish with names. That's been using the sponge a lot, and he thought if he got his sponge the other day, and he's realised you can do it without the sponge and save time and all the rest of it. You know who it is, Mark. You're better with names than me, mate. And and that sponge I bought because I thought, you know what, I might, okay, if I need it in some kind of emergency, I might use it. Sam, that's it. Well done, mate. Plenty of extra time, mate. Yeah. But my sponge float I bought. Oh, I must be pushing a month ago now. It's still got the old cardboard around it, where I haven't had to use it or think. Even if you wanted to do, I mean, there's loads of videos out there from Blaine as well. doing sponging stuff or not sponging stuff, and like the other guys have asked before, I've got on the back of my bedroom wall. I did some real nice blue Venetian plastering, only like a great big kind of oblong rectangle on my wall, and it was great to do, and I really enjoyed it, and it looks kind of nice, but yeah, there is no after you've had it there for a little while, you kind of think, yeah, take it or leave it, and unless you're doing some kind of work for like the big companies and that want a great big wall done it to make it look like it's made of marble, or it's got gold streaks running through it, which does look beautiful, but it's got to be in the right kind of place. You live in a normal kind of like terraced house, and your little bathroom looks like it's all made of gold encrusted marble. It just looks a bit. Well, originally when you first do it, it probably looks fantastic, and after a little while, you kind of think just look a bit tacky, but in a nice way. So so after doing a little bit of Venetian, I didn't really bother after that. It's nice to have a go of it and see what kind of results you can get. Hey, Danny. Evening lads, quiet day today, nursing the hangover after watching the Reds yesterday. Oh mate, you got to watch the old booze, mate. Watch the old booze. Well, the booze is nice, it's the hangover's not nice. Hangover's not nice. I mean, I've got to admit, before we went to Edinburgh last year, I thought, wow, I don't know how this is gonna go, because like I like a drink, I like a beer, and I like a cider, and I like whiskey, and I like brandy. But I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do spending the whole week or 3 or 4 days as it was last year in Edinburgh with the boys, because what will we be doing more or less rather than going out quite a lot and eating? Obviously, some lovely steakhouse there, and like I say, the old all you can eat Chinese, that's nice there as well, and other bits and pieces. You do tend to spend quite a lot of time in the boozer. And I thought, well, it could be expensive, and I could be like, people would have to carry me home, not being much of a drinker. But I can't quite well, and the bill on my old plastic when I got home, I realised it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So it was very enjoyable, and I didn't get any hangovers whatsoever. But then I was sticking to the beer or the cider. As I know my old mate Danny, Mr. Arbuckle, he does like obviously the old Jack Daniels. And if you get a bit blotto on that, and then possibly chuck some beers in as well. I like to feel at least half reasonable the next day. Taro, yay! You made it, darling. Sophie asleep at the moment, briefly. Or is someone looking after her? Is Mum looking after her? I'll say hello to you now, baby, just in case you're not here for long. But thanks for tuning in, coming to the pub to see your old adopted dad, shall we say? Danny, I don't drink really. First time since Greenbow. Oh, well, that's all right, mate. Since Christmas, you haven't had nothing, and then you watch a bit of footy or rugby on the old telly. And next thing, I'm assuming it was on the TV, mate. And next thing you know, you got hangover from too much booze. But it's all right if you're celebrating something and you're having a nice time. I mean, a couple of times when I was, probably more than a couple of times when I was younger, I did really enjoy it if I wasn't working, obviously. So it's probably a weekend back then. Going to a pub in the afternoon and getting drunk, I suppose. And it was really, I don't know, lovely feeling, and but doing that like lunchtime and then until sort of early evening, thinking, I'll pop home because I'm feeling a bit tired now, and then waking up about 7 or 8 but with a banging headache and thinking, I'm not going back out again. But it was nice while you're in there and you're having the drinks and you're having a good time. It's lovely, but I gave up heavy boozing, especially on the whiskey and stuff like that from when I was a teeny bopper, and I really hammered like whiskey and Bacardi and Pernod. They were all very in drinks when I was back in the 80s. Back in the 80s when I was out on the town, up Chicago's. That wasn't just a pizza then, that was some nightclub or another. Sinatra's in Croydon, Cheeky Pete's in Richmond. It's been knocked down years ago. I tell you how that disco was, it had little pygmy lights in the ceiling. But it was, I met one of my first very serious girlfriends in there. Only went out together for about 6 months, but it felt like forever. When you're young and in love, mate, 6 months is forever. Well, it feels that way when you split up. What's that, Tara? Just getting her settled, so it's a quick one, I'm afraid, but I made it. Oh, it's nice to see you, baby, briefly at least. I hope she's getting easier as every day goes by. You'll get there, darling, don't worry. Richard, bit of a bugger because couldn't help dropping the Damp Sam reference on my last comment. Here's a bugger. Bigger bugger than me. Can't help but laugh at his content. Yeah, I don't like Damp Sam, mate. What's the word? What do I call him when I made comments on his site? A parasite. That's it. Yeah. Because apart from the fact he's very, excuse my French for a second, very far up his own arse. I'm waiting for him to do a review on one of Kirk's videos. I don't know how far he lives from Kirk, but I'd love him to do one of his reviews on one of Kirk Johnstone's videos. But yeah, mate. I mean, yeah, like anybody that tries to, I don't know, make a name for themselves by slagging other people off. Even if I know he sometimes he does it in a banter-y kind of way, but banter's not a word I use, mate, because I hate that word. It's just a bullshit excuse to slag people off 9 times out of 10. Jamie O'Sullivan, old soggy knob. That's it. Yeah. Old soggy knob. Yeah. And I mean, I don't like to give him any kind of publicity. I know he was on there recently again, slagging off my mates and having a pop at their plastering. I mean, I don't know who the hell he thinks he is. Got a couple of letters after his name, and he's the big man, you know. But just trying to put everyone else down so that you know, if you want damp proofing done and you live anywhere near him, you're gonna think, oh well, Damp Sam, you know, he knows what he's talking about. Yes, a sausage, Joel, is a polite word for Damp Sam. He's a parasite, mate. I can't stand him. He's damp. Yeah, he is damp, mate. He is damp. What else, soggy knobbers? As they say. I told you before he was a knob when he did a video on Anthony Parry. Yeah, Tara, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, I've never. I don't think I saw any of his. I can't remember whether it was Anthony or someone else. He started because I think he kind of did okay on his channel before he started thinking, no, how can I make a name for myself? I know what. I'll try and be funny and I'll try and be clever and I'll just slag off other plasterers' work, you know. And he's got the front to tell us how to do our job. And how wonderful he is. What's the word I'm looking for? Narcissist is a possibility. I don't think he's psychopathic, but you know, psychopathy is one of those things that you can't always see it straight away unless you know what to look for. So yeah, I might watch a couple of his other videos just to see if I can suss out whether he is a bit on that side of the spectrum. But we shall see. Yeah, don't like the bloke. I've made that clear. Yeah, water, Mike, that's it. He can't even say water properly. What's the matter with him? No offence to me, any of my other friends up that way that say water instead of water. It's only damp. When Damp Sam says it, he sounds stupid. He's coming to Edinburgh. He ain't coming to Edinburgh. He can come to Edinburgh if he wants. He might not go home again. Oh dear. Anyway, enough about him. Richard, family members in the trade that take pops at myself and my father. It's easy to criticise. That's why. That's the whole thing with Trout Talk, mate, on Facebook. The whole idea that Stuart had there. He just got so fed up of the other, the other flipping plastering site things out there that because they've got big, the guys that run them, they make money out of them, so they don't give a damn about the kind of just people that go on there. All there are sites for now, really, apart from you might get the odd nice bloke on there, but generally it's kind of like who can we slag off? Who can we slag off on here? And you can't do that on Trout Talk, or you can, but you won't be a member for very long. And it just if people want help, no matter who they are, whether they're flipping time served spreads like myself, 38 years I've been spreading, or newbies, DIYers. They want to ask questions, they want to put stuff up, they don't want people laughing at it and telling them why don't they get a proper plaster in and all that kind of. Any of those kind of lads, do us a favour, don't just piss off. Excuse me, so I get a bit annoyed with them as well, because they're just a bit low life, mate, a bit low life. It's like me, if I can't say something nice about someone, if I don't like something someone does, not necessarily plastering, could be anything, I just think, don't like it, or geezer's an idiot. But I won't go on there and start, going, oh mate, you done that wrong. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Yeah. See this bit in between my ears? Right? There's nothing in there, just a bit of water. Ah dear. That's it, enough of that. Right. Mark, anyone notice it's the guys with the big following, his legs off? Because he's open, mate. Even if it's people that dislike him, they're going to start whacking comments, watching the videos, sort of like they go, oh look, they're slagging off our mate, and of course, and then all our mates go, oh, we'll go and have a look at that. Of course, that's what he wants, isn't it? So, but I think he's, someone might put his lights out one day if he's not careful. He might do it all. Oh, I'm just being light-hearted. I'm just that. Yeah, bollocks, Sam. If you ever see this, mate, it's bollocks. One day, mate, someone's going to take you to. Oh, what's the word? No. I'm going to see if you like hospital food, probably. So, unless you're a proper gangster, mate, or a real hard time, then I just watch yourself, mate. Watch yourself. Why don't you go back to just doing videos about what you do, or what you think you do best, which you think is all about damp, mate. Damp. The only thing that's damp, mate, is you. But you probably won't see this. I'm wasting my breath here. Wasting my breath. No, let's talk about something positive. Has Kirk managed to hit the 40,000 yet on the old subscribers? He probably should have done by now, because he's on 39,800 I think last time I looked, and he gets 100 or 200 subscribers more or less every day or two. Anyone? Easy scrim. Oh, what about it, Mark? What about it? Apart from the fact it's fantastic, Mr. Shepherd, obviously. Richard, it's all positive. Oh, that's all right then, mate. Yeah, but oh dear. I worked. I did a job for someone else today for a couple of for an old guy, and he was a lovely bloke. Don't get me wrong, but I think no, I won't go there. No worries, Mark. Anytime, mate. Anytime. I'm flipping. Since the last few years, I've been using all the Easy Mix gear, mate. It's made my life easier. Funny enough. And I love the scrim, mate. I love the scrim. It's beautiful, and it could be that little bit wider as well, mate. It's nice. It's nice. And when I went to this job today, that a plumber mate of mine I was working for, I thought, oh, I'll get me easy scrim out. And he'd already put the little pink one up on the ceiling, and I went, oh mate, I've got some real proper scrim here. But I didn't want to waste it, Mark. So yeah, and I just coped with what he'd already put up there. But yeah, it's lovely, mate. It's lovely. And I'm still putting loads of Easy Mix extra time in me bonding. Works a treat. Works a treat for me. Ooh, pardon me. Wow, lovely. Right, have you any of you boys on here that aren't normally on here kind of come to Edinburgh? With the regulars? 20th of May. Check your diaries. And if you're thinking about it, mark it out in your diary so you don't just book work in and go, oh no, I'm working all that through that week or that fortnight or that. Let's make sure I haven't missed anything. Kirk versus... Yeah, only Kirk versus... So I'm going back to it, aren't I? Only Kirk versus Sam I'd want to see is a proper meet-up. Preferably after old Damp Boy has said something derogatory about Kirk's work. Richard, yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, that's the sound. I must talk to Ant actually. I haven't seen him lately. That last video he did when he did he rendered the side of that flipping extension, didn't he? He had about that much room to get in and do it. I just would have said to the people, look, you know, you need to put some kind of waterproof something up there or paint it or something. I wouldn't go down and go to all the effort that Anthony went through to get in that little gap to render the side of that flipping that thing. But and I said, I hope you charge well for that, mate. But I think Ant just goes, oh yeah, they want that rendered, puts these normal pricing to do it, and he uses the excuse, oh well, I'm in Wales, mate, so you know I can't overdo it. But I think that's rubbish. That's rubbish. You're good, Anthony, and you know people will pay. But they've got the money. It doesn't matter where they live. Or the people that want a lot of that work done, or they should be getting it done if they ain't got the money to pay for it. But yeah, but if it had been me, I would have said, look, I can't get in there. You'd have to sort something else out for making that waterproof. But I'm not getting to get in there and try and render it with 2 coats of gear. I have to kind of work like that. Oh. I don't know how long that took him, but he's a good lad. Bloody good lad. Hang on. Mark, it'd be nice to see you, mate, if you can come up to Edinburgh, Shepherd. Pink scrim is good, but Easy scrim is better. Well, that goes without saying, mate, doesn't it? I went from the white scrim to the orange scrim to the pink scrim, but now yellow, mate, Easy reminds me of the sunshine, so it's another reason I like it. Perfect colour. The colour scrim should be. If it ain't yellow, don't use it. Can I get you some in the post? Cheers, mate. Yeah, but it'd be nice to see you up in Edinburgh, Mark. Right, that can of beer has gone down, and they're running them. These are only little cans, but they're not little dumpy ones. So I think I can have one more because what's the time? It's only early still, isn't it? It's only just about pushing 8 o'clock, and as you regulars know, we go on. Well, all going well, we go on to about 8:30. So I think I can afford to squeeze another beer in there quick. I tell you what though, I did. I went to look at. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I went to look at a lady's back of her house, and it had a few nasty big cracks in it, and she's moving. So actually moving back to oh, where was it? Not Kilkenny. Dublin? No. Anyway, she's moved back to Ireland, and I was looking at it, and I thought, you know what, the best thing you could put on the outside of this place would be the old cork spray, cork sole. And I thought, well, that's a pity I don't do cork sole. And then I sent the site and that off to her, and said, like, you know, I said, I don't do it. The guys I do know that do it, they're miles away from this part of town. So have a look on there and see where you can maybe got someone nearby that does cork sole stuff. And in my own house, I've got that. This is for the outside of hers. I said it. As far as I know, it can just be left as the finished, can't it? And I think you can get it in different colours. And I think it can be used inside as well. But obviously for her job, it was an outside job. And I thought, yeah, if I was doing that, and I'd rather it was something that I put on with a machine. Cause I don't know if you can put it on without a machine or not. Remind me, guys. That would have been great. Plus, yeah, in my place. No matter how many times I've done something different to the bathroom, and it's fairly well ventilated, after a while I start getting that old black spotty mould coming through. So, and I know that's meant to be really good, the cork sole spray, for not for helping to kill the condensation, or for stopping it from letting mould growth. So, and I mentioned it to the missus, and she was like, "Well, great, let's do the whole house with cork sole." But I said, well, I better look into it a bit more then, baby, because yeah, because I don't know enough about it, and I know I can. And good old oh, come on now, Neil, yeah, has offered for me to stay up each way, because I think it's cork sole training spraying place somewhere up that way. Ooh. Richard, I think we need a clear view of Edinburgh, or we'll just descend. Or descend and see how it plays out. Sorry, Richard, what are you saying there, mate? I think we need a clear view of Edinburgh, or we'll just descend and see how it plays out. Oh, basically, mate, we make our own arrangements for where we want to stay. A lot of the guys book into the old Premier Inn hotels. Me keeping them, careful on the old budget, especially as I'm going to leave the missus for a week. Last year, booked into a hostel, and Danny Arbuckle, he booked in there as well, and Jamie O'Sullivan, he was going to stay at the hostel, and then Jamie backed out. I think he watched some horror film about people getting murdered in hostels, so he backed out. And then after one night, because someone had pinched Danny Arbuckle's bed, whichever bunk he was meant to be in, some other geezer had pinched the bottom one instead of the top one, and so he checked out into an hotel. My bunk was fine. This is the same hotel, whatever it's called, and yeah, it was fantastic. And it was last year it was 90 quid for 4 nights. This year it's 100 and something quid for Monday to Friday, and nice and clean, all refurbished inside. Lovely brand new place, showers, toilets, toilet rolls. Yeah, lovely place. Did me a treat for somewhere just to basically sleep of an evening. I wasn't going to be paying 150 quid a night or 100 quid a night, whatever, when I could be paying 90 quid for the week. So I did that, and I'm booked back in there this year as well. So that allows more money for to spend, more spending money once I'm actually in Edinburgh, which is great. Oh, is that? I wanted my own sitter. Well, Jamie, I appreciate that, mate. But there, in this place, there's like about 4 to 8 shitters and showers in the corridor bit. As soon as you come out of the big kind of room where the old bunks and that are, and these bunks, they're like, there's a massive gap in between like the top one and the bottom one. You can stand on your, not stand up, but there's a bit, they're not like little bunk beds, and all these lovely. I know I did a bit of video, didn't I? Couldn't believe how powerful the showers were. Blew me away, literally. They were that powerful. So so I just booked again, mate. Okay, so you got kind of creep out if you want the loo in the middle of the night, but I ain't gonna pay all that money so I can have a poo or a wee. For the sake of walking a little bit further. Nah, mate, I'm good. I'm good. You're too posh, Jamie, up there. The further north you get, the more posh you get. People have got it all wrong with Edinburgh, posher down south, mate. It's posh up north and rough down here. You're doing the hostel this year, mate. In my opinion, mate, you start not to. I had a good experience, so if I had a bad experience this year, then next year I might think, oh, I'm going to stay there again. But it was great. It was great. So, like I say, one's all booked and paid for already. So, because I'm that looking forward to it. I ain't going to miss it. It's just now whether or not I fly down there, or if I can't get a cheap train, I'll do the EasyJet job again. But and then fly over on the bus into town. But if I can't get the train, as I say, just come up those steps and I'll probably go straight into the booking office just for a relaxing I'm here pint. Which I'll order probably with a burger or something on my app, on my Wetherspoons app. Actually, as Wetherspoons go, that's got to be one of the nicest ones I think I've ever been in. Compared to some of the ones here in London, mate, they're quite rough and ready, and that one's quite posh. But I suppose being in the middle of Edinburgh, and it's quite a big place, that cruiser, isn't it? It has to be quite half decent. But the atmosphere in Edinburgh all year round, blooming fantastic. Absolutely love the place, as a lot of the guys did that hadn't been there before. Loved it. So I'm really looking forward to it and seeing who definitely gets there this year and how many of us there are. But it's a cracking time. I think it's definitely going to be an annual event, without a doubt. Hostel Richard, blooming St Christopher's, I think they're called. I mean, it's a chain. There's another chain, some other funny name. But I ain't stayed at there, so I don't know what it's like. But this one is literally round the corner from the station and the booking office, where we tend to meet up every day. Is not even a 5-minute walk round the corner, and you are right in the middle of Edinburgh, like Princess Street, which is the main street where all the old Hogmanay is on New Year. And I've said before, most of the guys know, I went there years ago for the old Hogmanay New Year's Eve, and it fantastic place. Big enough to enjoy it, Edinburgh. Small enough to walk around all of it. You don't need a motor once you're there, which is another good reason to meet up in Edinburgh. And driving there, the only issues I'd have was where are you going to park the flipping car? But you get there any other way. Edinburgh is small enough you can walk from one end of it to the other, or any end you'd want to be in. Great place, but really looking forward to it. And I did Jamie, with the price of the hotels compared to last year, looking at hostel. Yeah, well, even the hostel, mate, it says went up. It was 90 quid last year for 4 days. I'm doing 5 this year, and it was 112 quid, I think it was. But that might not even be one night in a hotel. So and let's say if you're only going for a couple of days, I suppose it don't matter. But if you're going to come down for the week, then it's really just somewhere to rest your head, or be it lunchtime, or having a lie-in, or or when we're done for the evening, after I've staggered out at McDonald's with a little help from my friends, ordering it, and then back there. But I think the guys that I don't know if they're going to plan it a bit better this year, but even the guys that stayed in the Premier Inn places, I think there's 2 or 3 Premier Inns in a row somewhere, and all the guys are booked into different Premier Inns. So you're going to walk home, and then one of you go, right, night, and then you go off into his Premier Inn block, and then it'll be the next Premier Inn block, until eventually I got back to where I was at the hostel. Oh, and there's a place attached to the hostel that does like breakfast and all that, which is lovely. Fantastic food, fantastic bars, and a good times. How about Joel replying to Mark? What did Mark say? Hang on. Family holiday for me. I'm gonna get a nice one for Sarah and Harper. I'm looking forward to meeting you in the flesh, Joel. Yes, mate. Yes. Yeah, looking for it. And mate's gonna whiz round quick, mate. Oh, mate. Yeah. I just think, the summer's gonna be coming. It's all good. The rain, there's gonna be hardly any rain this year whatsoever. So, all the rendering guys, you can just going to be able to crack on soon. There's a little bit of rain now. I know it's been a bit of a pain, but that rhymes, doesn't it? The rain's been a pain, but I'm going to Spain. But soon it's going to dry up, and it's going to be perfect rendering weather. So enjoy that, lads. Earn the money, come to Edinburgh, and have just a good year. Yeah. Michael, how many guys are you expecting to go? I don't know, about last year I think about 20 guys were going to be going, and I think in total there was 12 of us, or more than 13, 14 maybe. Went for varying times. Most of the guys stayed from, I can't remember what stuff. I think we went there on a Wednesday and came home on the weekend or something like that. This year we're going down, or a lot of us are, on the 20th, and coming back either on Friday, which I think will be enough. Monday to Friday's probably be enough for me. Some of the guys are staying the weekend as well, or they'll come down and do the weekend. A few of the guys came with their families last year, so they couldn't really kind of stick with us as a group, but we had a couple of meetups together, which was great. And then they went off and did their bit with their families and stuff, and the rest of us that were there on our own, which I think is probably ideal. We just had a good old time. But this year I think on the we're definitely going list is about probably 15 to 20 at the minute. But it's so hard to tell until it gets nearer the date. You'll either get people that think, hey, you know what, I didn't book any time out for it, and I've booked work in. It's a rubbish excuse, but it's good enough, I suppose. And or you'll get a little bit of a possible that much nearer the date. But of course, as far as I know, the quicker you get something booked, especially with flights or trains or whatever, the better. I know, I think like Joel, where he is, he's going to do the drive, but I think it's still like a 6-hour drive from where Joel is. So even if I was Joel, I'd still get a train or something, because once you're here, you don't need a car for anything in Edinburgh. Here, I'm not in Edinburgh. Once you're in Edinburgh, once we're in Edinburgh, you don't really need a motor. So it's not like you think, if I take my motor, I'll be able to get everywhere. Apart from the fact, if you're having even a couple of beers, you ain't really going to be driving anyway, are you? So, and we had a lovely bit of sun last May, despite what Jamie's negative attitude about it raining all the time. And it was lovely. There's some blue skies and all sorts. What's that? Hang on. I've got breakdown cover. I'm pleased to hear that, mate. If you are going to drive, Joel, you got to have the breakdown cover, bro. Yeah, especially you have had the odd issues, haven't you, mate, with your motors, and you really don't want to be, like I said, halfway there and have a major malfunction. Because even if any of us had motors, we'd be too drunk to drive, probably. So, we would be of no help whatsoever, brother. But I tell you what, Joel, mate, I'd still look into a train or something. My plane's probably not worth it, but a train might be. You might get a return, right? Like reasonable. Maybe you just do that on a train. And it takes you to Edinburgh, and then do that on the way back, and you're back home, rather than all that malarkey. Unless you just love driving, bruv. Which I don't. Hey. I said it before, anywhere over an hour and a half, mate, I'm not interested in driving. I've driven to Edinburgh twice in my life, and my dad was from London, fair enough, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it again. Jump on a train, chill out. Or if we get a night train and go to bed on it, lovely. Wake up, get out. You're in the station where we all meet, where the pub is. Fantastic. Yeah, I'll get the plane, and it's a £5 on the bus. From just one bus brings you straight into Edinburgh from Edinburgh Airport. Lovely. Can't get much easier than that. But if you want to drive, bruv, and you've got the cover, then you know, Joe, whatever makes you happy, bruv. Whatever makes you happy. It's just a whole baby stuff too. Oh, that's true. You're coming down with the family, mate, aren't you? Which, yeah, with Harper and all the stuff you need when you've got a baby. Change bags, all the other stuff that goes with it. Which I'm being reminded of. Now I've got grandkids, obviously. But takes me back, mate. Takes me back to when my kids were as small as yours. That's that. Soon whizzes by. Don't be coming in the veto, Joel. No, yeah, that's your motor that has more issues, mate, isn't it? And the breaking down department. Dear. Richard, whatever. Richard, whatever big shout to all outdoors and inside lads. Odd start this year. More strength to all. Yeah, cheers, Richard. I mean, obviously there's the bonus of being indoors. It don't flipping matter, does it? Whatever it's like. It's like when I've done some of this swimming I've got into lately, like winter swimming, and it's a big outdoor Lido place. And someone else I know that goes there, going, oh, it's raining. It don't really matter. When you're in a pair of trunks and you're swimming, it don't matter how heavy it's raining. You're not going to get any wetter. Dear. And but yeah, it's a pain for Joel and the lads, and Jay and all the rest of them, and Si and all that. When the rain just keeps like putting you back on jobs, Joel, if you're still there, mate, it must have been drive you crazy when you're trying to plan jobs in, aren't you? Your timings. And of course, as soon as the rain starts giving you grief, it's putting everything back or out of whack, and you got to try and talk to the people and go, well, obviously, you see the weather. This is put me back on this job now, so that's obviously going to put me back to get into your job, and but soon it's going to dry up, mate. I've had words with, I've had a chat with the big man upstairs, and he's kind of going, your rendering boys, they'll be fine this year, and the sun will come out in May in Edinburgh as well. So maybe not all the time, but for enough for us to go, oh, lovely. Can't believe how much blue sky we had when we was at the Boozer last year. It was lovely. It's been lovely. I hope Anthony comes again this year as well, because he visited mates up there last time. But he did drive, and it was quite a fair old drive in from Wales to up there and then back again. Jamie, more or less straight road up to Edinburgh. Lovely job. Oh, it's quite an easy drive for you, Jamie, isn't it, from where you are, mate? Joe, we're trying to mark that wouldn't have made up Leeds. That your veto, Joe, wouldn't make it out of Leeds, mate. I didn't think it was that bad. Ah, dear. Cheers. Oh. Hang on, I've just got to move a bit to make myself up a bit. Ooh, yeah. That's me. Oh, that's me. Tony Robinson's thing. Robinson's, whatever his name is. Tony Robbins. Yeah. Me. Oh dear. God dear. I'll tell you what. I've been getting so much into this behaviour panel, which are for like the one who used to be in the FBI and God knows what else about reading body language, and they do they watch videos of murderers, psychopaths, television celebrities and stuff, MPs, and they break down like their body language. It's fascinating. I've wasted a lot of it. Well, hopefully I'm learning, but I've spent a lot of hours watching it. Very addictive stuff to watch. Really addictive. Oh, from Leeds to Edinburgh, yes, but I'm pretty sure Joel said it's about a 6-hour drive, which for me is 4.5 hours too long. 4.5 hours too long, mate. 6-hour drive. I thought it might be an age thing, because mate, well maybe not. A friend of mine, his missus, they'd drive to Edinburgh from London, and she would be like, well, we'll get everything ready. Their kids were a bit younger then. We'll get the kids in the car and we'll leave about 10 in the evening and just do the straight run to Edinburgh. And I think, man, I'd kill myself and the family if I left at 10 at night and tried to drive in one go, apart from stopping for, the service stations and stuff. I'd struggle to stay awake. But his missus loved it. No problem at all. Like, everyone would go a kip, including her old man, and she would just plough on. Then, if my missus was driving to Edinburgh, I don't think I'd nod off, because I'd be kind of like, "You awake, babe? You alright? Are you alright? Got me out in the window? You're not nodding off, are you? Can you slow down a bit? It's bucketing with rain." Oh yeah. Oh no. It's just stress. Just stress for me. I don't like it. I'd have to leave. The couple of times I did drive to Edinburgh and back, I set off about 3 in the morning. So basically, you're kicking in, you're getting on your way, and then the sun's coming up. So you've got all day. Because that's how long it takes. You've got all day to drive back to London in the daylight, which is much easier to stay away from me. Whereas I can't do nighttime stuff, long distance, or even just when it gets dark. My brain goes, "Oh, it's dark. It must be time to go to sleep." Oh dear, but hey ho. Oh dear. 4.5 hours plus stops. Yeah, nah, still too long, Jamie, for me. Too long, mate. I'd still rather get on a train. Still rather get on a train, even if I lived in Leeds and I was coming from there. Oh dear. I'm tired. 23 minutes past. Stick around a little bit longer, guys and girls, and then I'd already done a bit of dinner for my missus and my father-in-law, who lives right next door. Because I'm good at that kind of thing. Because I was very briefly, a chef when I left school. Because I learnt chefing at school. Went to college for 1 year, and then I kind of didn't want to stay any longer than that, and then got a job as a chef uptown for again about 1 year, I think. I jacked it in and it became a spread. I was good at icing cakes, and so when people say to me, "Oh, you must be good at icing cakes," I kind of think, "Oh, yeah, actually, I was," and that's why I thought, "Well, bigger cake, more money, less pressure." If you've ever worked in a kitchen, I only got to watch like Gordon Ramsay on the telly, because when I was chefing for a little while, that is just what it was like. You get called all the names under the sun, and the pressure is immense. And God, give me spreading, self-employed spreading, or even give me cab driving. I'd rather be a cab driver than a chef. There's a little bit of pressure, and that's when I did a little bit of cab driving back in some of the bad recessions. Wrecked my car, but you know what do you do? Got in the crust, and it was there were no sat navs then, and I had to keep looking it up in a book. And I'd just given up smoking as well, so double pressure there. But it was still easier than being a chef. So, and then as was plastering, so lovely bit of lovely plastering, love it. Or 7.5 driving home with COVID. Oh, God, who's that? Excuse me, back there, didn't mind. I'm doing a live stream here. Right. Sorry, peeps. Yeah. At least COVID now is that coughing isn't as prevalent as it was before the old vaccines and all the rest of it. A lot less people popping the clogs. What was I saying? Yeah, I made the missus and my father-in-law for dinner, but I didn't do any of my own. I had some strawberry crisp instead, because in a moment when we're done at the pub and I'm out of here and I'll just let the guys crack on, I'll go and make myself some dinner. I think there's some chilli in the fridge, so I might just see chilli in the fridge because cold chilli. So yeah, I'll go and do myself some dinner and relax for the rest of the evening, knowing that I'm off tomorrow, and then I'm going to Spain. Hey! And obviously next time I see you, I'll put stuff on the Discord site. But for those of you that aren't on my Ask the Plasterer Discord site, there are links in some of my old videos to get on there with me and a lot of the other guys, just to be able to have some chat on there and put pictures and all sorts of stuff and just ask each other stuff, or just have a general mishmash that we do on there. Then I'll put some pictures on there for my old Spagnoli trip, and I'll tell you all about it in the not next Monday, but the Monday after, when I'm back here in the old Alcantara. A question to ask the plasterer: when's the appropriate time to use neat PVA rather than a bit of watered down PVA? Hi Mike, I tell you what mate, I used to use watered down. I mean, I know you can use SBR and stuff like that, but I've always, because when I started back in the years, you know, in the Stone Age man era, all you could get was you probably could get the other stuff, but PVA was your main go-to for prepping a wall before you spread it. And I used to do that. I would water it down 4 parts this to 1 part water and blah blah blah. And the only times back then I had a ceiling drop on me was when I'd used like a watered down PVA, and when I've had it when I've had it slip on a wall, that was watered down PVA. So I started using it neat, or a little bit of water just to make it roll off the roller a bit easier. And I started doing everything neat, letting it dry completely, and then putting it on. And since then, I'd never had issues with any slipping, never had any like afterwards issues. The last summer that had fall on me was because the Artex that I'd bonded and skimmed over was on top of wallpaper that I had no idea was up there. and the paper obviously got wet and came down. But yeah, I never used watered down PVA, mate. The only need for watered down PVA is if you're a decorator doing some kind of decorating and you decide to use that as your sealer. But if you put something I learned when my 30-something-year-old eldest daughter was, well, just born, or just before she was born, doing her nursery, and I spread it, and I thought, oh, I've got to paint it, so I'll whack a coat of PVA on it, but quite thick, and it was watered down, but not enough, and I painted it all, and then the whole lot, all the paint crazed, so I put another coat on, and it looked fine for 5 minutes, and then it all crazed again. I can't remember how I got over it in the end. But that was because the PVA was too thick for painting on. So since then, when it comes to decorating new plaster, I always just whack a couple of coats and suggest to my customers they whack a couple of coats of a mist coat on it with watered down emulsion. But yeah, for any plastering, I do neat PVA. I let it dry, and it's sweet as a nut. And I've been doing that for 34, 35 years out of the 38 years I've been spreading. So yeah, I love neat PVA. Most people that know me know that Eric, he uses neat PVA and he lets it dry completely, and then he cracks on with the job. And yeah, generally I have no issues with it at all, I'm pleased to say. Richard, use neat PVA. Eric, gonna say sometime that, yeah, just pointing out the obvious as he's gone away. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, that and Kirk swears by SBR. That's more of a kind of like, that's more of a sealer like you use on flaky paint when you're going to paint the outside of a place, that you scrape off the loose paint, and then you give that a coat of SBR, and then you would paint over the top of that. But I've never really used it over the years, and although you can use it, and whatever you get used to using and works for you in your daily work, use that. You know, like Kirk says, there's no absolute right way of doing anything. If you learn to do something in a certain way, but it works, and you get a great result, then, you know, unless you want to experiment, there's no point in changing. I go for the cheap option. I buy the cheapest PVA I can get, which is normally currently I get from B&Q, and water it down a teeny bit just to make it more rollable, and off I go, because I don't want to spend the money. And SBR does go further apparently, but you know, I kind of think, well, I've used PVA for this long, what's the point of me changing it now, you know? But hey, SBR, PVA, etc. Yeah, Richard, Coke did that test thing, didn't he, where he tested, I think, neat PVA, watered down PVA, SBR, blue grit, green grit. I mean, there were no grits. I don't know how long the grits have been around now, but when I was plastering in the early days, there was no grits around, and we used to, if you wanted to get extra adhesion, you just whack some kiln dried sand into your PVA, and stick it on with a brush, whatever. You have to go giving it a bit of a stir, but I think you've even got to do that with grits, haven't you? And from what I've heard about different guys that have used the grits, how much more finish you've got to put on to make sure you're covering it, I kind of think, you know, I've never had to use grits before, and I've rendered a porcelain sink back in the day, just by using a bit of neat PVA with some sand in it, stuck like rock to the porcelain, and it's shiny porcelain. I didn't scratch it up or you know, do anything with a sander to make the porcelain a bit less shiny. I just that, and it did the job, and it held render to it. So even now, when I see people go like, oh, it's I'm coating this ceiling or a wall and it's got silk paint on it, I think, well, the amount of silk painted walls and ceilings that I've bonded and skimmed over after I've chucked a neat coat of PVA on, I haven't had issues with. I think I don't care if it's silk paint, matte paint. It's done the job for me over the years. So I stick with it because it's what I was brought up with and what I know. That's why sponging wasn't really something you did back in the day either. So never got into it. And as I say, that although I bought a sponge just in case I ever get some kind of emergency, which is highly unlikely, it's still got its cardboard around it. I have it, it's in the tool bag, but it's it's probably not going to get used anytime soon. Mark, North do a great grit, but it's expensive. The Larson's new one is pretty good too. Well, I can't comment, Mark, can I? Because I know nothing about the grits other than I don't want to pay for grit if I ain't got to use it. So, cool. Richard, interesting that curtain test. I remember water being the only choice to play with. Yeah. Right, guys, I'm gone. I've gone. It's gone 8:30, so that's me. That's me hour and a half. I'm going to have a nice little chat with Mrs. Have some dinner. Thanks for coming along. I'll see you in a fortnight's time back here. As I say, on the old Discord, I'll put in me pictures from Spagnoli. And really looking forward to seeing you in Edinburgh. But I will be back here before Edinburgh, as I hope you will be as well. And have another, putting our feet up with a nice beer or whatever at the community boozer, ye old Alton Trow, or handball and trow if you prefer, and your fur brother when you call it a handball and not a hulk, okay? But yeah, I've always called it a hulk. I know a hulk's a bird, but yeah, I don't know why a handball was ever called a hulk. But again, when you're brought up with it being called a hulk, it's like my toilet roll. I like it to come off the back of the roll. I don't like it coming off the front. I mean, I can pull it off the back of the roll, put my wrist against it and snap it off and use it. But when I'm in the toilet and the paper's coming off the front of the roll, night Tara, night all, then yeah, I'm digressing a bit, aren't I can't snap it off as easily as when it's coming off the back of the toilet roll. And my mum and dad always had the toilet roll that way, coming off the back. So hey ho, have a nice time in Spain. Cheers, mate. I will have a lovely time in Spain. Cheers, Richard. Cheers, Mike. Cheers, Tara. Cheers, Mark. And everyone else who knows me when it was here this evening at the Old Alton Trow. Thanks, guys and girls. Love you lots, and I will see you in a fortnight's time. Don't work too hard, and the sun and the summer is coming. And don't go in any McDonald's. Well, I won't go in any McDonald's on my own, mate. If I do, I will be going to that one queue where there's a fella behind a till, like they used to do in the olden days. In the olden days, fella behind a till. Yes, and in the shops where there's someone behind a till, and I'll go, here you go, here's all my stuff, just bleep it for me, and I'll shove it in the bag. Right, cheers everybody, I'll see you soon, thanks for coming along, and have a lovely rest of the week. Yeah, it's only Monday, isn't it? Soon be the weekend, for those of you that have the weekend off. Right, I'm going. Bye for now.